Hello, my name is Gabriel Ndaiken, Chairman and founder of the Charity Medical Foundation and International Trade Incorporated. To all my brother and my listener around the world, Shalom, Salam, Bonjour, Good morning, Guten Morgen, Ni hao, Buenos dias, and my fellow amigos, Bonjour. Therefore, I wanted to start today. We will be talking about the creation interpretation in accordance to the Glometricology concept. How human creation are the yocto scale of God himself, and also a pure microscopic portion and representation of earth. And I'll link that to the chronological creation of earth and all beings that live on earth. And I will define that, and I find the correlation between the elements that I will put in place and also the environment. The main key here will be the environment. Why the environment must be in an issue that should be taking place in first place. Not because of people talking about emission of more carbon in the environment. I wanted to come out with a different kind of projection. A different kind of concept, a different kind of approach. That approach is a very simplistic and idealistic approach that will make very good sense in terms of understanding the danger if the environment is not properly taken care of. In relation with human being, I will give a very simple example. So now let's talk about the glometricology in terms of creation. And we're also going to be talking about the program that I'm intending to put in place, the 4/5 or 1/5 of the sum or the funding or the fund that I should have on my to run my programs for my agent, for my organization. So let's start. First, I have a permission to state the name of the great architect of the universe, but that name must be pronunciated or said in a very holy way. You can't just say it the way you want to say. You need to have a kind of form of inner respect and moral respect. Morality is the way things work in other dimension. So I will be using more of the great architect and the absolute power being during the course of this presentation. So first, let's start with this. We have 5 elements. 5 elements is one of the perfect number. There we have 5 fingers. Those are everything that God have created. That's the reason why they say it's perfect, because everything that we see on us is a perfect creation. 5, the number 5, we have 5 fingers. We also have 5 toes. We have 5 fingers per hand, per part of the body. We also have 5 toes per part of the body. So they're perfect number, as well as 3 and 7. All those numbers you can find out in yourself. So let's say we have earth, we have water, we have air, we have fire, and then we have space. Those are the 5 elements that I will use today to describe the correlation with the human creation in accordance to the Glometricology concept, which is a definition on how things are measured in the dimension of the Holy Spirit, the dimension of the architect of the universe, who is the absolute power in mathematics, the absolute knowledge in mathematics, the absolute knowledge in physics, the absolute knowledge in biology, the absolute knowledge in science, the absolute knowledge in astrology, the absolute knowledge in engineering, absolute knowledge in every single thing that we do here on earth, because he is the creation. And I'm also going to define the correlation between us and the inner dimension of the great architect of the universe. Let's start first. God, everything that we see or thing that we don't see, any unseen or seen being, a part of God creation and a part of the Holy Spirit. What is the Holy Spirit? Let me define this first. I spoke about the energy. The spirit is an energy, okay, that live in a different dimension that we cannot see. So that spirit that are used by the great architect of the universe, the absolute power and energy of the universe, is that energy that we call the Holy Spirit, and that is called the Holy Spirit. So that energy, which is vast, is also used by Lucifer, or who is called a demonic energy, because it's used to do all the stuff that are not in alliance with the great architect of the universe. So now, when you see the beginning of the Genesis in the Bible, you see it specified through revelation, like I do. My knowledge don't only come from, like people think, glimpse. It comes from revelation, and I'll tell you a little bit a glimpse of it, because you also have to work for it like I did. So the thing is this: when God started, he started to create earth itself before human being. He created all those elements that I just mentioned. He created earth, the ground. He created water. He created the trees. He created the air, the oxygen that we breathe in with all other components. The energy itself was already there. The visible energy that heat up to become the fire that we can see, and the space where people can live, and where the Earth and other planets around galaxy can stand to make the globe running, the universe running. So the universe, there's nothing. Every single thing is under control by the great architect. So every single thing is part of his domain. He controls all galaxies that are out there. They are very, I can say Yocto, even more than Yocto, 10 to the power minus 24. It's very, very far from it. Okay, because his knowledge is more than iota, which is 10 to the power 24, more than that, which is the limit in which we can go, in terms of metric calculation. So at this point in science, so that's the what I'm trying to say here. Everything that you see, the galaxy, the solar galaxy, is a very macroscopic portion, is a very macroscopic portion within the entire universe. We cannot see it because we don't have that vision that he had. If you take the vision of God himself in his throne, you see that the solar galaxy is like a small point. It's a small point like that. I mean, it's very small. And then when you go farther and farther, you're gonna see those other galaxies. They're very, so the farther you come close, the farther you can start seeing that getting bigger. It's like you are in a space, in an airplane, right? Take God position there, just an example. You're in an airplane. That's your level. You can see the earth. The earth is very small. The farther you go, you see the earth small, but the more closer you come, you see that bigger and bigger. So that's you know, that's the way it is seen over there. But remember, is more than 187. 187 again. 1 plus 8, 9, 7. You know, so 187 billion of trillion miles away from this is very far. So in that dimension, even yourself, you're gonna see that very small. Even yourself, you will see it's very small. So the distance also play a very big role. But with the dimension that he have and the control that he have for the, you know, to control the entire universe with his mind, that's one of the reasons. But let me go back. God created human not only in in his resemblance, but I mean, I want to say indirectly, he already created earth with all the elements that I just mentioned. The earth itself, the ground itself, the water, the air, the fire, and the space. That represented him. That represent elements that are over there in heaven. So that's a simple representation. He possessed that knowledge. He possessed all of those. Everything that you see here, he possessed those. So, and any other entity, I will explain more further about those other being, the angel and all those other spirit that live in high level spirit, Holy Spirit that live in that dimension. So now, when you look Genesis, it said he created earth with the ground, earth itself. So we represent earth. The earth that we see, a human being, is a microscope, is a, I can say, a femtoscope, 10 to the power minus 15, or 10, or a maybe I can also say a yoctoscope of earth itself. I start with this dimension. We represent earth, ourselves, each individual person living in this planet. So beside that, God created human in his image. He created human in his image, but in resemblance to earth. So what I mean here, earth was made for human being. If you want to go to other planet, human being will have to create all those 5 elements in order for people to live there. That's what I'm trying to say here. You want to go to other planet, you will have to create all those 5 elements in order for people to live there. Those elements are necessary, and I'll explain to you further. So, and I'll explain to you about the 40, number 40, with the fasting, all this thing, and the inner spirit that we possess. So I'll go further with that. So a human being, a single human being is a yoctoscope of the entire planet, the Earth. A single human being. Let me explain. 5 elements that make Earth move around. Earth have the soil. that was made by God to create our skin, our body. We have that. Water. We have water. The body possesses, just a simple thing. The body possesses what? The body possesses more than, I can say, if I'm not, this is going to be an approximation, more than 70% of the human weight. What water represents on earth? Water represents more than 2/3. I mean, sometimes, yeah, more than 2/3. That's more than 70% of earth. Or now, the air. We have air. We breathe in air through our respiratory system. The fire. We have fire on us. We have energy. Let's say that a house is burning. You are outside. You're touching a wall of that house. You're gonna feel heat, right? It's the same thing. When you touch a human being who is normal, healthy, even if it's not healthy, a human being that's not dead, you feel heat. So we have heat within us. Now the space, we have space. We're living in a space. The same thing as the earth turning in a space, in a universe. So we are a yoctoscope or a macroscope of earth itself. That's what it is. So I'm going there in biology to try to make people understand this. Now, oxygen. I want to define my equation, the knowledge, the equation of knowledge. I'm going back to that. That's the reason why I started with that. Earth, that represents our skin. The trees that God created. That's our air. The air that we have in our body. That's the trees. That's everything that you see on earth represent us, ourselves. I'll come back to the point of the environment protection. That's where I'm coming. So God created. So God represents everything. Everything that you see is actually God. You see a tree, that is manifestation. Everything that you see, even water, that is a manifestation. You see fire, that is manifestation. You see fire, Moses. The air that you breathe in, that's God himself. The space is God himself. So I'm telling you, this is a discovery that I'm coming with. And everything is written. It's copyright. No one will copy that. It can only, I'm not saying I'm the master of the knowledge, but I don't want people to use my information inappropriately. God represents those 5 elements. Earth. When you see the earth there, God is there. That's the pure creation. You see water, that's God itself. You see the air is God. You see the fire is God. You see the space is God. So it's there. So now, that is one of the reasons why we are the microscope of earth. We possess the soil on us, which represents our skin, our body. We possess water, which is water. The earth possesses soil. The earth possesses water. The earth possesses oxygen that we breathe. We have oxygen in our body in order for us to breathe. We have fire. We have energy on us that make us survive. And then we have the space that make us move around. So now let me find the correlation between all those elements. Why earth? That's the reason why I'm saying that earth was engineered, scientifically engineered for human being. And human being was created in accordance to earth. I just gave you the correlation. So now let me give you the reason why earth itself was created with those 5 elements. Because those 5 elements are correlated. There is no fire without oxygen. And I'll link that relation, that logic, to the existence of human being. There's no water without earth. Water cannot be in the air. You put water in a space, you fell somewhere. You have to be contained somewhere. And it's the same thing. They are not earth without water. They are not water without earth. They are correlated. They are not earth without water. They are not water without earth. Somehow, you have to find some element of existing water somewhere. Or element, let's say when those people went to Mars, those engineers, those scientists went to Mars, they find some soft elements that have the characteristic of water. So they're assuming there was water there somewhere. So let's go with your human body. Water exists in your body because you have your body. It's contained. Okay, the same as water is in the ocean. It's contained within where? There's water inside Earth. And there's water above Earth that we can see. There's water that is inside Earth. That's why God created, when the water was in, He opened Earth, and that's how water came out. Water, the same thing that we have. Now, there's no fire without oxygen. If you go to a place where there's no oxygen, you don't want to be able to get fire on. Let me find a correlation with human. There's no existence without oxygen. Human existence without oxygen. Okay, so you have fire and oxygen and air. They are correlated. Now, you cannot, you can live if you don't have oxygen. That's the reason why when you die, what happened? Your body become cold. So oxygen is what generates the heat on human being, because that heat go to what? To your heart. Your heart is the center. It's the connection. Your heart is the center that create that energy that I'm talking about. That energy is linked to your inner spirit. Is completely linked to your heart. That's why Jesus Christ said, the kingdom of God is within you. It's in your heart. God read your heart. Why? Because the correlation that God have with you, between you and the spirit, because God communicates with your spirit. All those other entities communicate with your spirit. They know. So that spirit and you have a single common ground, your heart. When your heart is over, your spirit leaves your body. That heart that you see is what generates the energy that make that spirit stay in your body. But the heart cannot function if the heart don't have oxygen. So the heart must have oxygen to create that energy that you see, bring the air into the lung respiratory system and make it circulated so that you can breathe out carbon dioxide, that can be taken from by what? By trees, and trees itself will generate what? Oxygen that you have to breathe. So everything was done in form of correlation. So you can't live if you don't have any oxygen. So oxygen and fire are together. So God created a human being similar as He created Earth, that represents itself. So now you see exactly We're living, but we don't know. But we're learning every day. So that's the thing. The inner energy that you have, approve it. When you die, what happened to your body? Your body become cold. It's not warm anymore. But what creates that warmness in your body is your heart. Your heart have an energy that it creates through its function. And that's the common denominator that you have with your spirit, is your heart. And that's what God read. The manifestation of your inner self represent yourself and your own thought. You develop it. So your heart is very important. And that's one of the reasons you can live without eating, but you cannot live without breathing. You cannot live without breathing. If you live without breathing, you're gonna die. And when you die, your spirit will leave your body, because your spirit is connected to you through your heart. That's a revelation here. Some high rank Buddhists, they know about it. Your heart generates the pure energy. That energy is what trigger your inner spirit to function, because your inner spirit is an energy that have the form that's within you and grow up with you. So when your heart stop, your spirit leave your body. If your heart, that's why people will go and come back. When your heart start functioning again, the spirit come back. That's the way it works. And that's how they do it. Supernaturally, they can replace your heart. If you're feeling, you have a failing heart, they replace your heart supernaturally, and you have a new heart, and your spirit can return. That's a very big secret, that a knowledge that people must know to understand the human creation. And why? Now, what I'm trying to say here is a very logic. I started like a kids. People maybe might say, why you keep repeating the same thing? Hold on, you understand the reason why I keep repeating it, because it will make sense. Now, why we have to take care of ourselves so we can be healthy, right? So if we start eating bad food, we're gonna, if we don't exercise, we don't do proper thing, we're gonna get sick, as well as earth. So now when we start putting all those toxic material in the air is consuming, the earth is consuming those toxins. So the earth gonna start getting sick in a different form, not like a human being, but we're gonna start having that manifestation, because earth, we were created like earth. We have the same element. The soil represents our skin. The hair that grow up in us represent the trees. It looked funny, but that's true. And that's the reason why God didn't create a human being, and then now He created earth, and then He take us and put us in earth. No, He created earth first, and then He created us. So He created a human being in accordance to earth. This is a very advanced scientific research ever seen. I mean, it's proving you right now that God, when God have said to people that I know what you might not. So He knew. So it's like somebody, you create something and then you come out and say, okay, now I will create human being with what I created already. So He didn't take anything from nowhere. He said, okay, the way you grew up, you see your hair growing. So when you start losing your hair, some mineral, which the mineral that you put for the tree to grow, are not correct. So you have to retreat your trees. The same thing with your hair. We are the yoctoscope of Earth. We represent Earth ourselves. So those elements that I mentioned are the representation of God itself. God is within us. That's spirit. God is within the soil. God is within the air. God is within, represent the fire. When people say God represent the fire, yes, those are elements that make this planet and the solar system function. So that's the reason why we must take care of our environment, because we represent our environment. We might not know it. And there's a reason why God made it like that, because He wants us to self-reflect. Oh, we are representing Earth ourselves. So if we don't take care, we take care of ourselves so we can survive. So if you don't take care of Earth the way we take care of ourselves, we will have problem. The Earth is gonna become sick. It means you have a lot of toxin that you have ingested in your body, and then now you're gonna have to find a way to get it out. And that's the same thing with Earth. And that's the reason why you're gonna see about the circle, like your excretion organ. If you're sick, you're probably gonna have some dysfunctionment of some of the system that you have in your body. It's the same thing with Earth. The climate will not function well to release all those toxins that we created ourselves, through our technological advancement. You're gonna have climate issue. You're gonna have global warming, because through the movement of rotation, there's a creation of revolution. So every time that Earth rotates itself within itself, it advances one day within, depending on its position around the solar system, around the sun, through the solar system. So that's how it goes. Okay, so now you have people who don't comprehend that way. We always comprehend it in terms of, oh, Earth gonna get bad. Earth we represent Earth in a very yoctoscopic or microscopic level, and I explained it to you earlier. So it's very easy. It's not very complicated, and this is not a joke. This is the truth. That's the reason why God created Earth first, and then He looked at Earth and said, okay, this, and He already knew what He wanted to do. He already knew the end. So that's even a very big assertion that I just made. He already knew. So when He created Earth, He knew what the reason why He created Earth the way He created Earth, like that. When you go to other planets, you're not going to find the same element that we have here altogether. There's a reason, and I just gave you the reason. I gave you the reason. We are representing Earth. The skin represents the soil. The water inside represents the water that we have, and in Earth, water represents more than 70% of Earth. The same as your body. Water represents more than 70% of your body. The air that you have represents the trees that you see. The hair that you have, the hair that you have, everything that you have represents the trees, the flowers, all this, whatever you see there. And then now, the air is what you breathe, your respiratory system. Is the air. The fire is the energy that make your body warm. Through what? Through the functioning of Your heart. Your heart is the center that differentiates each human characteristic, because that's the common denominator with your inner spirit. And that's what God look. That's what Jesus Christ was talking about. The kingdom of God is within you. And sometimes you're gonna see some of the picture. You see the earth is your heart is generating energy. That's true. A simple example: when you die, your body go cold. Why? The that energy, the blood that come out, that come out from from your heart, they are all warm and they go to your body. And without that, there's another energy that dissipates from your heart, and that make your external body warm. And then that's completely true. And that's a pure manifestation of what I just said. It's science, it's biology. Okay? So now we must take off our environment. I'm not going against any agency out there. There's not against any agency, any big company out there. This is simply a um, knowledge that I'm trying to put out there for people to comprehend exactly the correlation between us and Earth. It's a very high intense knowledge that I just came out with, and that's the truth, and that's a revelation. It's no dream, nothing like that. A simple revelation from my inner ability and inner knowledge. Now, let's go with other concepts. We have a lot of things that we must know here. The agency that I have, my agency do not have any discrimination against any gender or any race. My agency is fighting to eradicate the concept of inequality around the world. Fight for the poor, not only for the poor but for everyone. So women are welcome in my organization. Women are welcome in programs. I mean, I love to work with women in my organization, to have them there, including the youth, because that's the future, so there's not such a thing like women don't have a place in my organization or in my state of mind. No, I respect the woman. I just don't like temptation. That's have to, it doesn't mean that I don't care about people. It's just the way the person was born. You come to me with I developed that kind of form, or of like everybody, any human being, you can develop your sixth sense, and there's a way. It's not magical, it's just understanding human creation, because we all have that ability on us, but sometimes we do not know that we have that ability. So, but if you really find out closely, you'll find out that you have that ability. So we all do have that ability. It's a very simple procedure. Nobody want anyone to die, but we must understand ourselves so we can prevent some stuff. When I mentioned the correlation between human creation and Earth, in order for your body to function, you need some water. In order for your skin to stay still, you need water. In order for water to exist in your body, you need the skin to contain that water. The same thing. Earth need water. Water need earth. Fire need oxygen to function. And the oxygen need energy to have the molecule be around. The same thing. Our body needs oxygen to function, and our body needs that energy that is created already through the heart to function, to give us more energy, to make our body warm. And that's the inner connection with our inner spirit. And that's the direct link with God right there. But now, why the 40 days? Why the 40 days? Because I tell you, last time I told you that you can also become like Jesus Christ if you want. This is not a joke. Jesus Christ didn't, he didn't come here. He was not sent here by God only to save us, but he came here to show us an example. That's why he came. He didn't came like a, angel have a way to come in. Angel have different way. They have 3 ways to come in. They can come in as human being, take human form. Sometimes they can come in as poor people. Most of the time they come like poor people, and disappear right away. Or they can come in with the spiritual form through a code, in enhancing certain people to visualize them. Not everybody. Certain people to see them. And that's God who created that. It's not magic. I want to make sure about that. You must learn about creation to understand a lot of stuff, because there's many, God wants you to know a lot of stuff, but many people are mystifying everything. No, God contained the inner spirit. In the beginning had everything. The inner spirit, the spirit have everything, bad and good. Okay, no one created bad and good. It came from the spirit. The only difference was how to use it, and God used it for creation, for the well-being of all being. Why Lucifer went down? Not because he was a bad person, but because he knew better. That's the only reason. He knew better. He knew that. He knew if you don't use that energy in the right form, you know what's gonna happen. That's it. He knew. Trust me, he was well trained. He knew. Like everybody else out there, they know. So they use that energy for progress and the well-being of all being. There's no magic. God is the first magician. God is the first whatever you call in this earth. He knows all of those stuff. There's nothing that a human being is doing that God do not know or do not have control of. So sometimes we mystifying stuff. We don't even know how he created a human from the soil. Can you do that too? No. You're going to ask a lot of study, and those study might be even magical. Okay, and they're even magical because what is magic? Magic is a concept in which a knowledge is not comprehended by a certain audience. And when it's comprehended well, it's not magical anymore. It becomes open knowledge. So people even mystify what is magic, the word magic. Okay, cause somebody can come with an equation, the equation of knowledge that I brought up, that I'm going to explain later on in correlation with what I already said. People might say that it's magical, but when people start comprehending, like, oh no, so it was a simple concept. So what I was trying to say here is that we possess all those characteristics. This is not an introjection from somebody's idea. Instead, I am the one who have been charmed from these from people around, defaming my character, name and stuff. This is purely an idea that comes from revelation and inspiration. Why 40 days? Moses have done 40 days of fasting. Joshua 40 days of fasting. Elijah 40 days of fasting. Jesus 40 days of fasting. Why? Those people were like us, human beings. When I say that you can also become like them, what do I mean? If you are able to fast for 40 days, even the Prophet Muhammad have done so. Free religion. I'm not here to discriminate against any religion. You fast for 40 days. What 40? 40 days is the time in which the body can connect very well with your inner spirit to remove all the impurity, to have a very, very, very good connection in order for you to have the other world, the other dimension to communicate well with you. And that's the perfect connection if you do it successfully like they have done. I'm not talking about try to fool people up. Do exactly like they done. I mean, you can go to the desert, you don't have nobody around. Well, people are gonna think it's crazy because you don't know, maybe you can die or something. But that was an example of human capacity, human revolution. If you put your mind, you can get it done, you get it done. It's very simple as that. They have done it. They were not born, they didn't come from the sky. They were born like us. But they got it done. You also want to get it done? You can do it. Okay, I can do it, I believe. So 40 days is the time that your body can connect well, because the spirit, God, or any other entity that works for them communicate through you, through your spirit. When your spirit is good, they can decide to visualize yourself or make yourself aware of the presence if they want, depending on how your spirit is prepared. But you must be able to work that out. But your heart is very important. Your heart is the center, is the beginning, is pretty much the kingdom within you. Is what generates that energy, and is the inner connection with your inner spirit. When your heart stops, your spirit leaves, because that's the connection. Your heart connect is just something that just came. I don't want to call it innovation. It's a revelation that the great architect of the universe wanted me to say. I mean, I have to say that it's also in reading, coming. It's also in writing. In writing. I'm sorry. It's written down, and that's something that people must know. That the heart play a very big role in human existence. So now, the 40 days that I just spoke about, okay? I spoke about the 40 days. Those 40 days are very important. It makes the human itself connect well with his inner spirit, because you make yourself prepare for that dimension through your inner spirit. So you have to work yourself up, suffer, so that you can connect well with the other words, and then they can come in. It's like a gateway that you open. It's not so simple like people think. It's not simple for them, but it's not simple for us, because we always mystifying stuff here. You must work yourself up very well and understand human creation with all the secret that are hiding behind. Good secret, not bad secret. Now, what do I'm saying that my equation of knowledge is true? Because what I just told you about the correlation between the humankind and Earth itself. The light play a big role in human reflection, in human ability to think. Even when you are blind, with all the respect I have for them, you can feel the light, the sense. If you are blind, if you're not even blind, close your eyes, and even if you have a light bulb a light in your house, start switching that light. You're gonna see, you will feel the sensation. So even a blind person can feel that light and start thinking. That light is like a trigger. That trigger the neurons within your brain to start functioning. In addition to the energy that is already created by your heart, is the resource that make it more stronger. That's why my equation, I believe, is true of knowledge. The light, the speed of light, the light, when you open your eyes, you blink. It triggers your neurons to start functioning. Even a blind person, with all the respect I have for them, can also think, because they can feel the light. You can yourself, you're not blind, you can do that example. Go to a room when it's dark, no light. If they bring light up, you're gonna say there's light. So it's the same thing. Those blind people, they can increase the other organ to function, like sensation, sensitivity, the touch. That can boost that knowledge equation. Thinking, speed of light, sensitivity to light, and also the energy that the building from the inner self through everybody heart. So it's a very, very defined equation that will determine, like the president is mentioning, that will determine a lot how people are thinking and the capacity of human imagination and knowledge. And the difference between that equation is true in all dimensions. That equation that I have, this is not magical, is a revelation, and my hard work with the inner spirit is very hard work. So people might think it's not. It's hard work. You see what you have, you use your knowledge, and you see what can be true. I believe it's true. If you just take an example, like your spirit. Don't go with God, go with your spirit, because your spirit is very well advanced. When you transcend to the different dimensions, you're gonna know things that you should have not known if you were in your body, if your spirit was in your body. But you will know that there. How? Because in that stage you function with the Holy Spirit, if you really, and you function with the energy, and your sixth sense develop quick. The sixth sense with your spirit is very quick, so you know stuff. They don't have to tell you, you know stuff. You can see somebody, you can even, because you see the person's spirit and you already know. That's the magic about the spirit in that dimension. You already know what they think. So the spirit of a person that is gone, he know what will happen. But when that spirit is within your body, you cannot. You have to work for it, like I said earlier. You have to work for it in order for you to, to come out with something more better. It's a very, very important concept for people. I want people to know. My equation is true, because that energy, that light that we're blinking, that neuron, that trigger the neurons, the neuron of the brain to start functioning, boost the speed in which the person think. Now, the distinguish or the contracts between us is made by our inner energy that is generated through our heart. And that is giving the characteristic that spirit have is giving during your birth, during your time when you come, you were incoming in this earth. And I explained to you about it during last week presentation. It have to do with the position of the earth and all the energy, and you benefit from it because you came at that time. And maybe some position can enhance God, or to give you other traits that are linked to that specific position situation that you came in. So that's how it works. And then now that with that, that energy will trigger that spirit to function well, but you have to work harder to get in touch with it. That's what the Buddhists and people who practice that and meditation, that's what they use the energy from their heart, and it have to do with breathing. Breathing is completely correlated with the heart functioning. Completely. You don't have no oxygen, can't function. The heart cannot function. That's the way it works. So the 40 fasting is an important procedure that we should all know. My question is true. The energy, your inner spirit have an energy in a very high capacity. So when you take that energy with the high capacity, you add it up to my equation, and you take the inner ability, because they have the same form, like that spirit have the same form like human being. So they have a brain, they have a form of brain which is energy, I can say, but that brain function more like a computer, but even more powerful than it. So it will think more faster and give an ability to see stuff that we cannot even see as human being. So now if you can put all of these things together and start thinking more better, you can have that same knowledge, but you must understand the creation. So we spoke about the way that we have to take off of our environment, Earth, because we represent the yoctoscopic dimension of Earth itself, of our planet Earth. Every single individual in this Earth represents planet Earth itself in a very yoctoscopic dimension or macroscopic dimension, depending on how you want to define it. We are all part of Earth. We represent Earth. And those elements are a pure representation of the great architect of the universe itself. That's why you're gonna say you see most big religion who think very well, they'll tell you that the trees represent God itself, air represents God itself, fire you can see when, because you cannot control something that you don't possess. That's another logic I want to come with. God possesses all those. That's why he can control those. A simple concept. You cannot control what you don't possess. You can control yourself, but you cannot control others. That's the truth. That's the true concept right there. Nobody can discuss that. Because God possesses all the being that exists in this universe. Therefore, he can control all of it. So every single representation you have from creation represents himself, his own imagination, which is very high. And that's the key here. You possess yourself. You can control yourself. The same as God. He possesses everything. He possesses even the demonic energy. He can control Lucifer. He can control. But like I explained last time, he cannot, he doesn't want to go in that game with him, because it's actually a covenant that was made a long time ago during creation. Adam and Eve, that's what happened. So he decided that he gonna let that happen and see if he was wrong. He know he's not wrong. So, but he want to prove to the other party, that other division, that they'll come back, they'll come out to their own sense that he was not wrong, that a humankind can actually do exactly the way they were created to do. And let me tell you, people who think it's crazy, the way God have intended us to live, this is not a joke, this is true, was to live in this dimension, in a space planet, where we can live with our spirit like they live in the other dimension, inside a human being. That's the best thing you can ever have, and live in a very perfect world. You can have it, a world where everybody is rich, everybody have everything that they need. Nobody can deny that kind of world. You live in a world where you have an inner spirit who have the higher knowledge than the one that we have here, but in the meantime you live with that spirit in a body, so you can feel pleasure, you can feel happiness, more happiness, living in a materialistic world that we like, but with God, primary law. That's the way it was intended, with a greater environment, the respect to the environment, because every time that we destroy our water, it's like we putting toxin in our body. It's like the water that is in our body is unpurified. Every time that we put in those carbon dioxide, and that's even too, it's all linked, right? You put in that when you start talking about glometricology, you're gonna become crazy. Metaphysics and the concept of absolute energy, which is the infinite power, upheld by the great architect of the universe. The absolute power out there. So we breathe the air. You put toxin in the air, we're gonna breathe it. You cut the trees, there will be certain degrees of oxygen released, and it'll be mixed up. So you're probably gonna need a complementary somewhere to accumulate that emptiness that will be created in terms of oxygen concentration in that specific area. And therefore, what you're gonna have? You're gonna have more heat, and then you're gonna have contracts within the climate functionment, or the climate functions, and that's true. It is a very real thing. People must know that. They don't comprehend those concepts, but those concepts are very true concepts. Our environment is very important. We should take care of our environment. We should make sure that our environment is controlled, that our environment have a better way to be. And last time people told me, people probably are saying to me, oh, well, what's the reason why he's talking about heaven? Does he ever went there? The reason why in heaven, the environment or the air is magnetically perfect or good, is because it's energy. The energy, if the energy live in the heat, like they're talking every time that you go, people are talking about um, you know, heaven and hell. Well, hell is explained, can be explained in a very simple way by using mathematics and physics and other concepts. If an energy which is already heat stay in a place that have heat, it will generate a form of burn that will smell like a burn. It's a simple concept. It's not a curse, it's just a simple concept. That's the way it goes. It will smell like sulfur or something like that. Now that's the reason why in heaven the air is immensely magnetically pure, because the energy must live there in a very um, uh, peaceable and pleasurable fashion. A temperature very well controlled, pure in a very big extreme that you will never see here in this earth, in this time. So that's what it is. It's not magical, it's not a concept of writing, it's just a simple concept of mathematics, physics, and biology. An energy should live, even yourself. Let's say your body is generating energy, like I said earlier. If they put you in an extreme heat, your body, you're gonna feel some different kind of the atmosphere, and the air will not be the same anymore. So it's just that's the example. It's very simple to comprehend that way. All right. So that's very normal. And the promise, as people have seen God, I'm not a glimmer. I'm just a realistic. I'm just telling you what I know in order for me to comprehend this earth. Why there will be a return? The return will be as in the beginning, because he created something and there is a problem that came through. It doesn't mean that he doesn't gonna go back to that, but he wanted to, like a father or somebody give a lesson to somebody, or a big brother give a lesson to somebody. That's the way it goes, So that's why you see people who are there. They are all temporarily there. They are in the temporarily being in that dimension. So when the time arrives, they will regain their body that they lost when they die. It goes back to the initial concept, the way that he intended this earth to be. And that's the truth. It's a simple logic. I'm using what I call logic concept, which is pretty much linked to logic mathematics, to interpret and to make sense to the theological confusion that people have out there. That's the reason why there's a return, because he must go back to what it was intended to be. Okay, so this is not a dream. This is not like, oh, he's gonna stay there, he doesn't gonna do nothing. This is what I say to you. Whatever fund or funds that I will be receiving, I will use fourth fifth of it to do my work, to run all my programs. You see, run all my programs, and I'll run all my programs accordingly. This is a revelation from God itself through the angel that he put in place, including Jesus Christ. You know, the work must start. I mean, people will say, asking for, I'm not trying to be rich. I want to make sure about it. I'm receiving call from, I understand, people thinking he just want to be rich. No, I don't want to be rich. I was born. I know the purpose of my creation now. And I know I can change it. I can change it. I don't want to say that to you at this point because it will be interpreted a different way. I am not a special man, but I was born the way I am. You want to find out if I'm a special man, you ask to God. But you have to work yourself first to get there. Okay? Or you ask Jesus Christ because he can also answer your questions. Or you can even ask to your own guardian angel. He won't answer you. What do you know about that guy? He gonna tell you. But you need to reach there first. You need to know. Okay? So that's the point. People don't comprehend this concept. I have all those folks. They have all angel, all the president, the high rank official. They have all God angel. They do. But let me give you a simple concept how those people are very humble. They are the same angel working for God. They have seen all. Because over there is more immense than here. We don't have none here yet. We don't have none here because we're never going to have, it's a supreme being. Okay? So, those same angel, they come on earth. When they live over there, they are all the same, right? But when they come here, they are all dispatched either to a rich man or either to a poor man. How do you feel that they conceive it? They have to be there. See, they all sometimes aside. They're close to a president, and the other one is close to a poor man. The other one is close to the subordinate. The other one is close to the supreme one. And then they just look and then just watch how people are, doing all these comedies of Herculeism, all this stuff with the other demon that Lucifer is putting in place. But for no reason, none of them would think, why do God send me to go with a rich man? Why do God send this angel with a rich man? And why do God send me to protect a poor man? They don't, because they already know what you will be. They don't care about the present because they already know what you're going to become. That's the pure truth. I'm not talking about, with all the respect, I'm talking about the medium and all those psyche. They're doing their job. They, for those who, they're helping. They're helping people. People need to applaud it. Okay? Recognize it. But you must understand they have to use the right energy. The energy in the right way. So those angels will never going to question those who are working for God, like, why do you send me to God and a person who is poor and another person who is rich? No, because that angel that you see with beside a rich man, he was there when that rich man was poor. You need to understand that. Okay? So because they already know, he was there when that rich man was a little, was growing up, suffering. So it's the same thing. It's not, so they don't have those concepts like we do have as human beings. Human beings, somebody gonna say, why do I have to carry a bag? The reason why, because we don't know. We don't know tomorrow. That's the point. That's the misery of this life. If we knew tomorrow, some people know tomorrow, but they use it to crush other people. That's even the reason why it's even better for all human beings not to know tomorrow. Because when people start knowing tomorrow, with the Luciferic atmosphere that's already here in this planet, they start blocking those passage, and that's what they do. That's when, a certain extent, I understand. That's why God say, you might know what you might not know what I may know. That's very simple. He knew. Even the knowledge that I have, my knowledge that I have is very limitless. um, compared to what is out there. That is in the other world, and it's very limitless. Okay, but I'm start talking and telling you the truth about it. It's very simple. It's a good concept. Okay, so the thing is, my agency, my organization is very simple. People are thinking this is a dream. I am not dreaming. This is something that I'm not planning to become rich. My organization will be run aside or beside my education. I will work with the education that I earn. My organization is run separately. That's the reason why I decided to become a founder and chairman. Okay, if you run well, a CEO and president will be hired to do the work. But trust me, I already know how to run it. So I pretty much know the function of a president and function of a CEO. So I know. So, but I don't want to get to that level because I want to prove people that I'm not here to make money. I will use my education to make money, not this organization. So the money that I'm talking about, 4/5 of it will be used to run the program, and 1/5 of it will be used to pay people going to be working on. So 4/5 is pretty much 0.8 in terms of proportion, 80%, and 1/5 is 0.2 in terms of proportion, 20%. That's equal to 1 in proportion and equal to 100% in 100%. So that's exactly a very simple equation that I'm talking about. There's nothing that I'll be adding to it. Okay, so if I want to talk about the women and inclusion in my project, in form of retouching and redoing and reintegrating some ideology here. Women are very welcome to be part of my organization, and I will be I like to work around women that have no women. I'm not. I mean, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about any temptation here. I'm talking about purely people who are coming ready to help, either financially, either in terms of personal or in terms of material. This is not a joke. Okay, I have. There's different form of pain in this life. Okay, there's very different form of pain. You can be shot and survive. You can have a broken feet and survive. You can have a heart attack and suffer and survive. You can have a stroke, suffer and survive. You can have a financial difficulty, suffer and survive. I can promise you that all those suffering are painful. There is no suffering that you're going to say is easier than another. All of them are painful. Okay, so if somebody suffer financially, that the person is really suffering and struggling, you don't have no clue of what that is causing to his health. The person might have stress, and that stress can create more disease. That stress can make that person become sick. So it's another form of disease. Okay, so when I'm saying to people what I have endured or what I'm still enduring, people keep saying, why if you have had what I had? Why if no? Everybody have a problem in a different level. Okay, let me take an example. All right, let's say you have somebody who's coming with in this country with all the papers, and he have difficulties, or he comes with all the paper but he have a defamation of name, he have his name profile, and you have somebody who came here without paper but he doesn't have that. If you are a neutral person who's coming into this life and they told you to choose, what are you going to choose? You're going to choose somebody who's coming with all the paper, with a profile of being a terrorist or a killer or so. Do you want that? Or you want someone who's coming with that paper but will have a chance to go to the system, apply for the right paper, and wait for his time and get his paper done without any profiling? I believe that even a crazy man will say, you know what, let me go there with that paper and then I'll apply normally. Okay, so there's no way people are gonna come and tell me I have been in a very, very bad position. You guys don't have no clue. Okay, you guys don't have, you think it's a joke. I need your assistance. I need your moral assistance. My name has been defamed. I have been part of a grandiose, like I say, defamation all around. Okay, you have all those, stars out there, all those people who are well today. They refuse to come and try to be part of God work. This is God work. I can promise you, I'm not dreaming. Maybe you might be watching me here, like people say, oh, we're gonna be putting you're gonna be reading people dreams. All right, I just told you. If an angel come here now, he can decide who have to wash him, who don't have to wash him. He can even block the sound of our conversation. He can block everything around if he wanted. There's nothing you guys with your technology can do about it. Or there's nothing we can do with our technology. I can promise you that. That's true. He can make a distraction and everybody, they can do whatever they want because they are the beginning of all the knowledge we have. It's something that I want us to understand, that we can only control the capacity that we were giving, that capacity we're giving to them. An example, it's like we human beings, we are creating computers. You told me any computer here that a human being cannot fix or manipulate or increase or upgrade it. Every day you come, every day we have this computer is coming up, it's the same thing. A human being, if a computer start going bad, they know how to manipulate the computer. The same thing with them. That's simple concept. Logical concept. Understand. You cannot control what you don't possess. They can control us because they possess us. They created us. They can decide to let your spirit hit the other one without intervening. And the same thing, they can decide to make your spirit love the other one without intervening. They can, with intervention, they can do that if they want. They can make you distracted with something else if they want. They can do whatever they want. So it's something that I'm saying to people. Every time that I'm talking here, people are thinking it's gleaming. No, it's not gleaming. It's a pure revolution. I just told you. This earth will go back to what it was intended to be. It will go back to what it was intended to be. And it will go back to that time. Look very closely. 33, the year that Jesus Christ was killed, left this world. Look that very closely. That 33. I'm not giving any revelation here. I'm just telling you. Look that age very closely. In accordance to time. Look that very closely. So why do we start counting from BC to AD, starting at 0? People are going to tell me, but it's all linked to the avenue and time of Jesus Christ. So look that 33 very closely. Maybe we are going close to the end. The revelation that I told you last time, people think it was a dream. It was a revelation. I never dreamed that before. I never have that before. It was a pure revelation and very pure revelation. Look that time, that age he died very closely. So, in what time Constantine discovered Christ? Around 300 and something. So, that time and year, let's say Jesus Christ died at the time of year 33. Constantine, the Emperor Constantine, discovered the Christ around 300 and something. And we start seeing pretty much what he have said coming close. Are we going to our last millennium? So watch that very closely. I am not going to tell you nothing at this point until I get another revelation. I will not, but I'll just tell you that people must be very careful of how we're treating each other, or how when I say something about $40 billion, people think it's too much. It's not. It's not too much to do the work of God. I'm not trying to convince you, but I'm telling you to watch very closely. Watch it very closely. I'm giving you a clue here for people to think that I'm dreaming. Maybe you can see everything because maybe you're watching me. No, you cannot see. They decide what you can see and what you cannot see. Trust me. They decide what you can see and what you cannot see. Okay? So watch that age closely. Maybe we're going to our last millennium. It's very important to people to understand that when people are telling that it's coming, I'm not previewing nothing, but I'm just telling you to watch it closely. So now, my organization is working to improve people's life around the world. I am preparing the ground for that return to come. I already explained to you in a logical fashion. So what was intended to be will be. We are going to a period of test because we are the consequences of that covenant that God had, that he will not play a game with somebody that he created. So he gonna prove his creation right. Maybe people gonna say, why does he have to prove? No, because it's not in our dimension. In their dimension, he have to. Lucifer is not from our dimension. Trust me. He's from that dimension. So it is a combat there. And we all know already we're gonna be the loser and the winner. Okay? So watch that 33 very closely. We start seeing a lot of stuff getting close, and the time go very fast. From 1,000 to 2,000. And we're getting close. So now I'm asking you to really look into this very closely, and you can go and look all the Bible, look the Torah, look the Quran, look also the Bible. You will find out that what I'm saying is completely true. There will certainly be a return, because people who are living there in that dimension are in a temporary state of the journey till that day. This is not a dream. This is the logic. It's not. I'm not. I've tried to put it a little bit away from the theological point of view, and that's why I call it glometrical point of view from glometricology, glometric calculation. It's just the way it is. Because when you look at all the concept, you see how we human beings were created in accordance to Earth. We are representing the eucoscopic of Earth. Everything that Earth have, we have it within us. And that is the pure representation of God itself. Everything that when people say what was created in heaven, is yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Everything that you see there is, except that we have other stuff that Lucifer, human imagination, that is creating a lot of problems for our environment, and the law that were created by human being, that is creating trouble between us, that we can find any compromise, and we fighting each other, killing each other, such a thing, those things, our own concept, the energy that is out there to devise humankind, those were the deviation that he oversaw coming. He oversaw, and he saw that, and that's why when they start questioning him that you're gonna create those forces, we're gonna start killing each other, he said, I might know what you may not. So he knew exactly, so everybody have his level. Over there everybody have his level. It's the same. Okay, so it's very simple. Join my organization, join the Charity Medical Foundation. Let's do a charitable work in the name of I say his name with all due respect, in the name of Yahweh, through Jesus Christ and every other that's the people of God who have worked in this earth. Okay, so there are many other people who can do the same, but I'm not here for a humanistic cause. I'm here for the great architect of the universe cause that will serve every single one. Human right, woman right, with respect to God concept and precept, the right of everyone, including the poor, the distribution, the normalization of distribution of wealth and provision of health, not a form of egalitarian, but morally egalitarian kind of society. Morally egalitarian. If you look all the revelation, all the prophecy that were done in the past, we've seen that today. Meteorite coming up, earthquake, all of this, people dying a lot, killing, war, we've seen that. So I'm telling you again, watch that 33 very closely. What time the Emperor Constantine discovered the Christ? Around 330 some. Okay, so around 300 and up. So you have to really be very careful. When people are saying stuff, you might think it's a joke, but it's not a joke. It's real. Okay, you have to live our life as humble people, as people who respect order, who want the well-being of order, despite the controversy, despite the differences that we have between us. We can have differences, but we must work together to for the well-being and promotion of our own happiness. We are happy each other, we can do good stuff each other. But we always go back to the initial path, the prime law. We always go back to that after our game, after our craziness, after we have done all these craziness, we go back to the same concept. So that's the reason behind all this presentation. People do not see my work and my view as something that can be well assessed. They see it as a somebody who's coming to become. I'm not coming to become rich. I already told you that. God will determine what I will earn within that organization. My earning will be through my education and what I can do, either physically I can do. Okay, it's very simple. I am not trying to take people money and not doing nothing. I'm gonna have to answer to God. And trust me, I know better. I will. It will be very hard on me, so I can't do it. I have to do exactly what I'm saying here. I have to do what I'm saying here. People are gonna say to me, "Oh, he's talking about 50 billion. What they gonna? It's small to do God work. See how many people are out there." I understand. There is an other year. We want to maintain a certain um, mission. That's okay, because there's another also over there in heaven. But the thing is this: that order must have a law that allow everyone to live a better life. That's the prime concept. That's the same law that apply over there. They have what they need. But okay, the difference is you earn what you have seed here on earth. That's the only difference. Okay, you earn what you have seed here on earth. All right. So people might think it's a joke, but it's not a joke. There is in heaven and there's a hell. I can promise you that. It is true. People can have difficulty in this life, but difficulty existed since the beginning of the action that was done with the first creation on this earth. That's it. Just see how promoting research in a form of research that I want to do to determine human knowledge and human ability to accomplish more by looking my equation of knowledge through the inner characteristic and contrast differences between humankind that can make a big difference in treatment, that can make a big difference in human accomplishment and even human reflection. Because understanding the inner ability and the inner capacity that we have can allow us to understand how somebody thinks and how somebody can survive certain disease and how far a humankind can go. You see, it's very, very correct. Educating people. Ignorance create war. Ignorance create misunderstanding. Ignorance create disparity and sustainability. The health of our environment, like I explained earlier, the health of populations, knowing about promoting art, People have skills. They don't have the avenue to get it there. People have skill in music and art. Education, like I specified earlier. Understanding spirituality is not magical. Spirituality is a normal thing. It's part of human creation. Understanding well and comprehending well human creation allow you to make sure that you know how to um, um, behave yourself. I can say, well, I can behave yourself. You can behave yourself very well in that concept. Simple concept, and people can understand that. I am well open to any human, any relation with any person out there who want to work with me. Either you are a female or male. Again, female are very welcome into my organization. I have a very my understanding and concept of life. Sometimes people are afraid to talk to me. They should not be. They just have to come and talk to me very normally. They will find out that I'm a good person. But when you start adjudicating in that external comprehension, I don't believe it's a good approach. I do believe that it's a form of temptation. You can come and tempt somebody like me because I already know. When you start coming with that kind of behavior, that's where you start seeing some barrier. And then you might start saying that I'm a very complicated man, but I am not. Because I have the ability of reading some spirit that are not good. I'm not saying I'm a perfect man, but it's just the way it is. I work so hard to get there. My suffering, my endurance. I am going today, almost 3 years, talk to all the wealthy men in the world, all those singers who saying that they have money, in their level, I can say, they have a well, living life. Ask them to take my position, almost 3 years without being self-employed, like the way I'm doing, with all the difficulty of this economy, and see how they can survive and maintain a kind of not very similar, cut off a lot of stuff that they like and live a life, they told me. They're even going to say to you that it's even impossible. That's what they're going to say. That's impossible. I mean, we can't believe in that. We can't believe that that's true. How come somebody can survive? Are you sure that he's not having some money behind? He's not doing something wrong? That's what they're going to start saying. So it's very comprehensible. People must understand that. Okay? If I have survived this, it means that everything that I'm saying to you here is purely the work of my inner search and the inner knowledge of my spirit and understanding of the environment, the knowledge that is out there in the environment, and mainly strengthening my covenant and faith with the great architect of the universe and Jesus Christ himself. The sun that we see represents that energy that make our world moved. Why do the sun rise from the east in every corner of this earth? Nobody can never come up with that misery, right? Or mystery, I'm sorry. It can be a misery too, because if you can get something, it might become a misery for you. Now, through revelation and more research, the throne of the great Yahweh faces the east entrance of the third heaven. So it means that if you're lucky to get to the east entrance, because there's 12 entrance, you get to the east one, you see, you pretty much gonna see him facing you. He's facing the east entrance of one of the entrance to the third heaven. So that's what it is. God is within us. We representing a yoctoscopic of God himself. That's what it does mean. So I am not a magical person. I'll say again, my suffering in this made me what I am today. People who have more benefit with that, working with me to this. This is purely a revelation from God itself and to Jesus Christ and every other entity that walk along. Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael, all these people, all of this being, with all the respect. We must be very careful how we judge people. I just told you another revelation that many people know. The concept of creation and human brain, the human energy, the speed of light, the inner energy of each entity of human being and each being determine the scope of knowledge the person may have. Certain people now, they'll say to me, oh Gabriel, this guy is very serious, he doesn't want to have a relationship, he doesn't want to date. Well, in order to live in a society like this where people must trust you, they always want to see you with with a companion. That's true. But sometimes you have to take off business. Okay? I'm a man that when I'm taking off my business, I take off business. Companionship is a different kind of business. Taking off business is taking off business. Okay? I'm not trying to be a special man or try to be a crazy man. I'm not. Take care of business. The one thing I understood in this life, you come in this life alone and you live alone. That's one misery of this earth. Even if you come as a twin, you gonna come at the same time, one at a time. So you come by yourself. The same thing when you leave this space-time planet. So I have to take off my business before I can look any other thing. What I call distraction. Okay? I wanna to date, but the thing is, many people are scared. They have misconception, misapprehension, misjudgment of me for no reason. They should not fear. I am speaking the truth. Pure revelation. My work is completely a true work. There is no creation that haven't been part of the Holy Spirit itself. So that's very simple. We must work each other to advance our way of living, encourage others to the work they do, even if we do not agree with each other. It's just the way it is. We should be able to work like that and make those concepts more better for others to benefit from. There's not an apprehension here for power. I say again, only God will decide. There's no apprehension here for money. Only God will decide. You must not be always the most intelligent person in this earth to have revelation like this. No. It doesn't have anything to do with that. People are misunderstanding creation. Okay, so it's the way it is. You can come to me and try to differentiate yourself to me and say, who is this guy? What does he think he is? No. That's not true. I am who I am. I'm speaking the truth to you. Why do people look? I mean, I'm taking care of myself with no insult to anyone. I do my best. But what I have faced as barrier, physically, mentally, healthily, is tougher than any human being can ever imagine. So that's what I'm saying here. You have to at least understand my concept. I am not against any woman. Right away, let me tell you, it's something that I didn't want to say here, and I don't want to talk about it because people will understand in a different way. Okay, but I want it to be very clear. I do love women, but women do not love me. Okay, there's nothing you will do against that. Is have to do with my creation. Is a revelation. You want to doubt it? You don't know pretty much well about my life, but sometimes people don't want to talk about a person's life. It's just the way it is. If you ask a woman out there, why do you hate that guy? She will not be able to tell you nothing that is very crucial. She's gonna say stuff, It's just the way it is. That you have to do with my creation, nothing to do with them. The way I live my life is always apprehended that way. I just told you the truth. Because to my revelation, there's no way I don't gonna ask about that. Of course, I'll ask about that. Okay, so it's just the way it is. But there will be there will be a time that everything will come back in place, where I should be able to have a companion that fit my criteria. It's the promise that will happen. Okay, so yes, I'm kind of picky too on that, but it doesn't really matter. Everybody have his choice. Okay, but there are certain people here in this earth who can only say you are belong. This is the kind of woman that you have to go out with. Why? No. I deserve a beautiful woman in my understanding. I deserve a woman who fits certain criteria. The same as a woman who can decide a man who fits for certain criteria. I'm entitled of it, like everyone else. Okay, so my business is a good business that will change people's life. It will bring a certain apprehension. Government can work better and solve the economical problem if they work more with non-profit organization. But it will be a different kind of glometric calculation. It's even going to be a very different kind of macroeconomy that must be done, because people will be working more on salary, people will be working more on voluntary work. That will help the government to save more money. That will help the government to balance its budget and do certain project that they're supposed to do, spending more money on it. That's another avenue that I'm giving you here. So my organization, I'm not here to promote a certain cause. I am here to do the work of God for the well-being of every single human being in this earth. If you are there, a billionaire, ask you a question. If I can do any difference in this earth with the money I have, what kind of satisfaction I can have? Even if I live every day in a bridal hotel, drive in every single car. Let me tell you something. Every time that you grab all this stuff, you always go back and sit down in your bed and say, so what I've really accomplished? Driving all this stuff, having all the beautiful women around, driving around. At the end, it doesn't really bring you something. What can bring you something in this earth is if you change somebody's life for the better. Then when you sleep in your bed, like, yes, I've done something. I don't care what people say. But if you don't do it, it must be a cause like this kind of cause, not a cause that you're going to have benefit after that, giving money so that you can have a compensation somewhere. You see what I mean? That's not something that God look very good. I'm telling you, people who are doing that, they're fooling themselves. This is the truth. Everything that you do good here in this earth, you have a compensation over there. So when you cleanse it, that's what you're going to see. It's like you're giving a gift to someone who don't have none. And the Holy Spirit says, oh, that's good. This is what you can have. You have a brick. You have this. This is your space of earth that you're going to have for your house to be built. And every time that you give, every time that you do something like that, you have a gift that's given to you, because it's written. They're writing. You have angel there that all the job is just to write. They write and then they go give the report. That's what they do. That's the job. You insult somebody, you hit somebody, it's written. It's just the way it is. Okay, so this is not against the rich. You were born rich because you are rich today because God wanted you to be rich. There's no hazard. Okay, I don't care what you have done, whatever people. God wants you to be rich, so it's a blessing. So what I'm saying is, understand then God work and God vision for His creation. That's simple. If you're president today, it's because God wanted you to be president. You can say I was very smart, I'll do it. No, come on. You're not the smartest man in the world. It was meant to be that it's going to be you. You have done your effort. True, with all due respect. So the thing is, join my cause. Join this organization to make it function. This organization will need money, not Gabriel, the organization, not me, because I don't want people saying he want to be rich. No. Again, I am not seeking any money from this organization. I will earn my living with my education and my physical ability. I want people to comprehend that. I'm not here to extort any money. And let me tell you something. In every single construction that will be made, there will be a house of prayer for the great architect of the universe with the study of spiritual knowledge. Just to let you know, this is a pure revelation. So we must be very careful. Each of us have a guardian angel. Those guardian angels, they work with poor, they work with rich. They're there. They come from the same place. They see each other. They know each other. You know. Just look, a guardian angel who's guarding a kid who is over there who cannot even eat. How do that archangel feel is feeling? But the same guardian angel that know each other, the other one is guarding somebody who have a lot of money, but he don't want to give none to nobody. But they're looking at us. They're just there. It's a very simple concept. We are not perfect people. We are not perfect human beings. We all make mistakes, but we should all tolerate each single of us in order for us to proceed and live our destined life, giving life by the great architect of the universe itself, in himself. We can be at the same time the authoritarian power and the same time God on earth. That was long time gone. A lot of people were thinking like that. We have more reason today. You have power, you have money, but that's it. You are a simple human being. I don't think that if you die here today because you're too rich, your body gonna disappear. God gonna come and send a chariot of horses come and get you. No, they're gonna put you in a coffin like everybody else with nothing in there. You can ask heaven to put your money there. If you need those thieves to go and come and steal it, all good. It is not going to benefit you. My thing is this: you can invest all your money, but at least think about working to prepare yourself for the good, for to have a good place over there. Trust me, everything that you see here, you have a gift directly from God. You have a gift. Those archangels, I'm not, those angels that are here, they are not just here to protect us. They are here to do a report. So everything that you do good, you have a benefit. It is the same thing apply here on earth, right? Help bring a concept in which we will work together. All the stars, all the musicians, all the human rights out there, all the presidents around the world, I am asking you to join this effort, which is what I call today the prime effort, as it's supposed to be. This is a revelation. This is not an projection or a shunting idea that are made from nowhere, or I'm skipping, from people to know. No, it's not. It's not. It's just a pure definition of what came straight from my inner ability of thinking and knowing. We will work together to form a more better future and preparation for the world that was intended to be in the beginning and should be. So do not think this is a joke, or maybe I am just kidding. Some people are gonna say, I have tried like this kind of stuff before, it never happened. Well, I understand, with all the respect, you're right, but you're not me. As well as Moses is not Jesus. As well as Moses or Joshua was not Moses. As well as Elijah was not Jesus. So we must really distinguish those stuff. As well as Archangel Michael is not Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel is not Archangel Michael. They have different mission. You understand it, and everybody understand the concept of creation and how to live and how to understand others. I'm just talking to those sophists out there. People who think they know everything. But I always told you, the only thing I do know is that I don't know nothing. Even though Plato or Platon, the student of Socrates, stated once, nor will enter my house if you're not a Scientologist or a geometricologist. But it should not only be applied to those who do not understand the concept of morality and reason, distinguishing wrong and right, good and evil, the way in which people believe a social society should live in, following certain concepts of morality. Those are human-made laws, which are not always guaranteed to be perfect. They are not the prime law as it was intended to be during the creation, before the deviation occurred. And then now we are living a period after that specific time. We are living a period of test through that covenant that we made. It should return, but when the time comes. But in order for us to guarantee our place there, we must do good on earth. People will intend that no, God will provide the position for me when the time occurs. No one will stop it when its time comes. The only thing I have to do is to stay still. That's all. The Holy Spirit will do the rest. I am not saying this in form of just talking as a glimmer. No. I prove you. During my time of manifestation and all the difficulty that I have faced, diseases that people have put in me, I am battling it, and the Holy Spirit will help me to defeat all of it. And as you can see, well, I'm not going to say that I'm good, but I am there, at least. Okay? So now, the thing is, we must all work together and try to be more acceptable to each other. I have built love instead of hateism for what people have done to me. Even though that you don't forget what happened, because your memory is like a computer. It records stuff. It saves it. When those neurons start working, you can retrieve that information. Okay? The human brain is a computer, is a human computer at a very, very dimensional way. The way it functions, it will take years for scientists to understand it. But first, they must understand the human creation and the inner spirit on how it functions, the characteristic, in order for them to comprehend the other part. But if is very difficult, because our body that you see, an example, I don't want people to be frustrated here. I'm talking about biology here. Your body can function. Let me say something to you. They can take your head and bypass your body and link that body to sensor to other part of somebody else's body. That body will function with that brain. That's how powerful it is the brain. So our body that we see here are just like human robotic. That's what it's called, human robotic. You know, so but it does have some characteristic that are specifically made for human sensitivity in a very intensive fashion. That there is a pharmacy, there is a human pharmacy, human body in heaven, in which is spiritually and supernaturally done. You believe and you received. You don't believe, you always going to be questioning. It's very simple. You know, it's a very simple concept. Oh, well, I see people come and talk to me in a certain way, you know. I'm saying, well, this guy is a crazy guy. He's talking stuff. When does he gonna go back to his jungle? Where he come from? I understand that. I understand your feeling. I know maybe you don't like to see me. That's true. I understand. But it's just a simple approach that you don't comprehend. Human ideology. The incomprehension of somebody else might be seen as a form of racism when it's actually not. But I am part of this society now. You believe it's too easy over there? You must come with support. You must come with a good foundation in order for you to even have your idea well implemented in that jungle that you're talking about. That jungle is very smart. It's not a very simple jungle, my fellow. You know, when you leave a jungle, it's not easy to return. Many things change, right? The way it's called. So we must be very careful of how we judge each other, because each other in this earth have a place, and there's a reason why those people live wherever they are. It's not a coincidence. It was done accordingly, and there's a reason behind it. There's a reason why people live in Africa. There's a reason why people live here. People live there. There's a reason. It's not because they are the last creation. No, they have nothing to do with that. You have to do with the moment and the concept and understanding creation. I am asking to anyone, okay? I just want to be clear. You call me on my phone, okay? You call me on my phone, you can present yourself because I know who you are. Okay, with all due respect. The thing is, sometimes I don't want to say name because, you know, every time you can say a high profile name and suddenly, you know, you start seeing Secret Service start knocking your door for question. No, I don't want that. All right. So my thing is, I can welcome everyone. There's no fear for people to contact me. People can contact me normally, presenting themselves we will have a very good conversation, talk about this thing, talk about how to move the company forward, the organization move forward. Again, my intention is not to become rich. My intention is to start the work implementing my ideology to promote human prosperity. Make sure that everybody have a better health, everyone is wealthy, safe, and live peacefully in the world, including the poor, regardless their race, religion, or area of living. Women must have a place in this earth, and women will be part of my organization in a long run. That's what it is. It's not that I just have a concept in which I understand my creation and my characteristic, like I told you before. Um, my relation has not been fine. It have to do with my creation, so people must understand it. People are gonna say, "Oh, now it's blaming the creation." No, it's just understanding the simple concept of who you are and work on it and see how you can fix it. Very simple as that. I don't want people to interpret it and start going back and forth and start thinking that this guy's crazy talking stuff that don't make sense. I do talk stuff that don't make sense. All right, so I just want to call you again for the last time to join this new world, this new ideology, this new thinking that is a pure revelation from the great architect of this universe through Jesus Christ, to make sure that I'll start this work that I might know I might not know if I will get it done, because evil is very strong and he will act upon people to block me to achieve this. We don't know when he will appear to us, because it's part of human spirit creation, though, so we can distinguish it. If you don't know, we have to learn how to find that distinction. He won't, and I already know that, but I know for sure if I stay still, the Holy Spirit will battle it and he will defeat it. And I just need people of good faith to come forward. All those people out there, the stars and musicians that I have contacted before, they should not be afraid or ashamed to contact me. There's no one. There's no leader in this earth that can block you to do what you want to do if you follow God path and you respect the human law. That's what it is. There's no one. If you don't want to do it and then you say because it's human law or somebody who have authority, it's because you don't want to do it. You want to do it, you get it done. It's not by try to show an example from other people that no. There is, let me say this, it's just a simple example. Just because we always believe in the Bible, we always read the Bible. When God choose a certain place or a certain person to do certain thing, there are other many people to do that, but he said this specific person, he know the reason why. I'm not referring to me, okay? So I'm talking just an example, and it must be done. Whatever you do, it will come back to that person. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about, because we always believe in the Bible, which is good, but we don't sometimes know how to interpret it. That's the problem. We think we know, but we do not. It's a simple logic. A work that must be done, a work that should be done. And I'm asking to all those business women out there that I've contacted before, or those businessmen out there that I've contacted before, everyone, to not fear anyone to contact the agency, contact me, and see how we can move this work of the great Yahweh forward. There's no good luck into this. Okay, there is a yes luck into this. All right, because I don't, with God, with the work of the work of the revelation, there's no such a thing like good luck. Because you know for sure that if you put your path, if you believe, you will receive. There's nothing that can defeat God himself. I can tell you that right now. He can change the spirit of every single human being if you want, in less than 1 second. In less than 1 second. It doesn't want to even take you one. It doesn't going to take him 1 second. I can promise you, this is the truth. This is not dreaming. Okay? So please do not fool ourselves. Let's be realistic. Understanding the concept, the work that I'm putting on is not for me to become rich. I don't need that money. What I need is to do what work. It's to do the right work, the right thing. In which law, moral law should start being implemented. The new order, the must work along with a more dominion agenda that have to do with the great Yahweh, with the great architect of the universe. That's what it is. I know they're listening to me. I know they're saying that this guy might not have a chance. I know that already. But I do know, with my spirit, Lucifer himself, he knows. He will not defeat me if I stand still. He knows that even if I have his money, I don't going to do his work. He knows that. That's why he's blocking my way. He's using you to block my way. He knows that. And that's true. I understand. I know today who I am. I know who I am. I am not lost like people say. I know who I am. That's pretty much what it is. Some people have said that I do not know who I am. I know who I am. And I'm not belong to a jail. I belong to the society to help human beings. It's simple as that. I see somebody last time in a store is talking about you just have to say, you just have to plead guilty. Plead guilty? Are you confusing me with somebody? Plead guilty of what? It was just a fun. I never been jail. I know that the picture that I made, what I call the unknown, that video was done. It was not in a jail. That video was done in a 4-star hotel in the United States. I'm not going to say the state, but it was done in a 4-star hotel. The reason why I did that video the way I did it is because I didn't want any attraction to that place. It was done in a 4-star hotel that I paid that night, sleeping there, and I decided to do that video, but I wanted to make it more confidential so that people do not have any trend, and stuff like that. But people, that's the reason why they start saying, oh, he's in jail. No. It's mistaken. I'm not saying that I am somebody who can avoid jail, because at any time anybody can go to jail. Everybody. But I'm saying that I've never been, and I'm not thinking going there. I'm trying to do the right thing, to follow the law and make sure that I can talk about my my rights and make sure that people follow the U.S. Constitution accordingly. That's all. But coming back to my work, we must do a good work. We must follow up God and Yahweh way. We can work more harder. Work in all continents, all countries around the world. Work with leaders. Create a center. Work along with the new order. The new order is already there. People always want to deny it exists. And do a good work. My organization is there to promote all those 9 areas that I specify on my website. It's all there. I am well willing and open to, with less introjection and less inceptions, to realistically and futuristically work with people to bring a more better approach to humankind life that I believe to the revelation was done right. I am not a prophet. I am not a pastor or priest or imam or some whatever. I am a simple person who have threatening my covenant and faith with the great architect of this universe to come out with wherever you listen to this presentation today. Whatever you're listening, we have to work together. I want all those stars to look at me, or all those people who have money to look at me and see, or all those presidents to look at me and see not an enemy. I want those stars to see me as a friend. I want those ladies to see me as one of their good friends. I want those presidents not to see me as the opponent, but somebody who can be part of the ideology. New ideology to change. I want those leaders to see me not as an enemy, not as an opponent, not as a troublemaker, no, but more as a new thinker with a skill that is not even yet well revealed. This is just the beginning. We must work together. We must make sure that we use the new order in the right way. I have seen the pain of this world. I know what it is. I live it, and I'm still. I overcome diseases, and I'm still, that are impossible humanistically. But with better deterministic strength, I have challenged and overcome all those obstacles, and I'm still standing now talking, right? It's all good. So but what I'm saying here is a very simplistic approach to what I believe is right for all people. Not to me, not to me. A simplistic approach to all people. I know when you start having money, money is an energy that attracts other energy. It's like a magnet. It brings hypocrisy. It brings a form of virtual power. It brings a form of virtual immortality. It's an energy. When you have it, you attract other energy. So you attract bad energy, luciferic energy. You have his hand on it. You have his stamp on it. So you're gonna start acting in a certain way as a supreme being. It's okay. It's normal. It's the way human beings are subject of. It's part of creation. Okay? It happened to Adam and Eve. It's all right. But what I'm asking here is to start understanding our own creation. And maybe we can save ourselves to be to live that kind of life. And understanding that yes, money, power, all of these things are good, but they are all limitless. The knowledge is more powerful than all these things. Because that's the reason why Solomon said to God, give me wisdom. He didn't say to God, give me money. Because with wisdom, you can have everything. They give you $1 billion today, you don't have no wisdom, it's all gone. You're going to end up with $0. There's many examples. You can go to YouTube and type it. You'll find out. So I'm not trying to lecture you. I'm just trying to listen. I'm not trying to dictate you. I'm just trying to make life a better place, a better concept. I'm not trying to talk over you. I am presenting my humanistic side of love and acceptance, humility, compassion, gratitude. I am open my hand with the blessing of the Holy Spirit, accepting your hand. Either you rich, either you poor, either you are female or either you are male, either you are a youth with good intention, either you are an handicap. Come with me, we're going to work. Now, people are going to say, we're going to work. Do you have a work? Do you have a job yourself? Yes, I understand. Well, it's okay. Maybe you have helped me to pay my bill. You know, maybe you can talk. Of course, I don't listen to all the stuff what people are talking about. They don't help me to pay my bill, so I don't going to answer that question. I'll move forward. I am still waiting for the answer of all those people. I will be in acceptance of complementary and futuristic idea that can fit to this linearistic vision of the Holy Spirit. Come and work with me. Let's be part of this new movement that will trigger that talent, that imaginistic creation that every human being has. The only thing that can be as a barrier is opportunity. Let's give everyone that opportunity. And then we can see a better light and a better tomorrow. Live to a law that is good for everyone, including the poor, the prime law. The world as it's supposed to be from creation and would be as intended. This is not an introjection. This is purely me from the revelation. I want to thank you to listen to my presentation today, and with the great Yahweh help, may I see you next week. Thank you and have a blessed day.